When I saw everything through gauze, you said, I'm yours, and made me king. I loved you, not just as a male grabs his polyester bride, but as a lion loves his pride. Now I see through unstreaked eyes. Your squalid lies turn up the flame. You ask, how come? As if you didn't. Because the talons in the wound make the lover more feverish, less kind. Oh, you'll love this. Bloody hilarious, Cato. Yes, no, really, look at me. Don't go. Too funny. So I take some G, sneak into the dungeon on my own, find a kid pounding some girl. I don't say please, so slap my wrist. It's a stupid rule anyway. And make him the meat in the sandwich. Look, am I boring you or something? I bored him with this skewer, lol. Okay, you can read it another way. It's dark and I'm dead. There was no girl, only mistress's boy slave, beating time to thoughts of her as we do. Oh Christ, look, have some of this. Of course I can handle it.
You bet I'm claiming a tax rebate. Who can look at your shambles of a government without weeping? Only a greedy chancellor with no shame. Mr. Marble Balls himself greases offshore accounts for European subsidies. Now he raids the British. And you, World Ponce, you let it all go by. Waggling his superfluous superego, he bed hops like a randy pigeon under a sex god delusion. And you, world arse, you rubber stamp the lot. You're that shameless, greedy chancellor. Turning to the dildo king, was it for this you shafted the islanders in the west? To let your knackered fuckboy suck up billions? Funny kind of overseas aid. When he reached the end of his shagging grab, he's ripped through the family silver, helped himself with assorted tax havens, tanked economies, trashed Britain. Why'd you promote this shit? Was it his game plan, looting pensions? Was it for this your father and son-in-law act when the pillaging classes left us in ruins? I'll send a fair sum. Sue me for the rest.
Poor Ariadne, half-dressed, miserable, watched his ship diminish and battered her wings against the dead ends of her labyrinth. That you loved me still the same, that you loved me still the same, that you loved me still the same. Then, what? With a zip wire, tripwire, bomb bounce, big band, bang, Bacchus, fronting the Electroverx crew scouts and shouts for you, Ariadne. It's love this time with a true all-over blue tattoo, and you... Ecstatic, erratic, torture gardens, hardened exhibits pour on the dance floors, stimulant silly, bite the apple and couple and triple and quadruple. The hand on the bottom, the have you had sex yet? Brandish the fertility spike, cover up the business end with a pine cone. It works for some. Juggle joints of botch-butchered bullock, bodies bound with seething snakes cluster round the glass inspection case with the naked human inside. Thrust bold tentacles through the holes. Tourists try to glimpse the rituals. Spunked, spanked scarlet, tooth-vibrating tinnitus techno. Here's a floor show, the infamous boom boom and skinny redhead. Shinbone shindig flutes with savage harmonics. Wait. Everything is very small. You wake up, face down, On the counterpane, each tiny prick, each satin stitch, flame stitch, stem stitch, isolated knot, a deafening echo of embroidery thread dragged by a needle through a hole it made. And you know what this is, don't you? So it has a screw there so you can make it tighter or looser. And yes, I do have an embroidered bed cover, just flowers, not people. And yes, there are holes in it. Now, some people would do an invisible mend for the holes. I just embroider around them in blanket stitch. And this is rather like Catullus's work. Sorry, yeah, what a silly allusion to make. I wish I was dead. In that has also come down to us, full of holes.
Varus takes me to meet his new bondage model at the rope jam while I'm idling. A standard issue whore's veneer, but not without some cheeky low appeal. So I use that distancing double negative to pretend I don't fancy her. We chat about my aberration, the attempt at a job, my second to Tokyo, and whether I got a bonus. I tell them straight, austerity minus for all. Especially when your boss is too busy being filleted under the desk to look out for his team. But surely, they chorus, you took time out at a dojo for advanced tuition. So, needing that girl to admire me, I say, look out for another double negative. I wasn't so busy with work that I couldn't pick up 8 dynamic suspension transitions taught by a master. Although, in fact, there's no dojo on earth where I dare go beyond floor work, in case the harness slips and strangles the bottom. For aerial ties, I practice on myself or chairs. Now she hits me with some trollopy would-be posh act. Please tie me in all of them at the Seattle Erotic Art Festival next month, darling. It'll give me a competitive edge. Hold on, I tell the hardened little trio. When I say pick up, I mean I watched the sensei teach them to my friend. Yes, he does exist, and his name's Cinna. All right, you call him Gaius. It's the same person. The moves are all in my head. I just need time to work them out. But trust a clueless bloody parasite like you to ignore the obvious interpretation.
Oh, it's from Catullus. Please, he says. Blah, blah, darling. You're so hot, so talented. He wants my after-lunch slot. A firm booking with no one else looking. He says if I stay in the camera's eye and concentrate, he'll come 9 times. In that weird way of his, you know, he calls it fluctuation, right? Now it's urgent. Have I got a cancellation? He's full of carbs, adopting the position. And here it is. Look away now, the dick pic.
Varus memeus ad suos amores visum duxerat, eforociosum, scortillum, ut mi tum repente visums, non sanille pidumne quim venustum. Ucut venimus incidere nobis sermonesferi, inquibusquis desset iam Bitinia, quomo dose eberet, et coniammi profuis etere. Respondit quoterat, nihil, nec ipsis, nec pretoribus esse, nec cohorti, curquisquam captunxius referet, preser timquibus esset irrumator pretor, nec facerepili cohortem. Ad certatamen inquit, quod illic natum dicitur esse, comparasti atlecticum esse. Ego ut puelle unum me facerem beatiorem, non, in quam mitam fuit maligne, ut provincia quod malinci disset, non possoctum in esse parare rectos. Ad mi nullus erat nequic nequillic, fractum qui veterispedem grabati, incollosi di corrocare posset. Ic illa ut dequit cinedi iorem, ueso, inquit mi Catulle Paulum isto scommoda, nam volat serapim deferri, mane in qui puelle istut quod bono dixeram mea bere, fugit me ratio, me ussodalis cinnes Gaius issibi paravit. Veru trillius an mei quid me, utor tambene quam mi pararim. Set insulsa malet molesta vivis, perquam non licet esse negligentem.
Stress testing, are we, mistress? How many of your tropes in rope can be endured before the poet chokes? Ply me hemp, silk, jute, and tie me. Ichinawa, takatekote, futomomo, ishikarada, tasuki, kannoki, hashira, daruma shibari. All of it. Samanawa for the burn. Count the stars that spy on sly lovers when the night is ball-gagged. That's how many of your tight knots and rope marks will deliver me beyond madness. More than a voyeur's torch could spot, or a jealous sensei take to pieces.
What do you make of that, Gellius? A man who does his mother and his sister, rolling around all night with no clothes on. And his aunt. Off the scale, would you say, Gellius? There's only so much whitewash, and that image I can't exorcise. The self-flating coil. See you around, yourself. Go ahead, the seat's free. You might not recognise Gellius over there. After the massive weight loss. His mother's so accommodating and fit for her age. His sister's hot, his uncle cooperates, and there's a troop of girl cousins. No wonder he's skin and bone, even confining himself to display only goods and nothing legit keeps him all ribs. I thought I'd ordered medium rare. Doesn't this make you think of Gellius and his mother? Oh really? Well, listen, they've got a baby on the way. We're illegal shagging in that filthy cult. They'll spawn an actual Magus, Alistair Crowley kind of thing. Junior will be a souped-up thurifer, jabbering the mumbo-jumbo, flinging fatty offal on the pyre. What am I saying? He won't reach term. They'll barbecue the fetus bits and call it faggots in Corda.
Huc est mens deducta tua mea lesbia, culpa, et quita sofficio perdidit ipsa suo, ut iam nec bene velle queatibi, subtima fias, nec de sister ama, omnia si facias. This is what we've come to, Claudia. My self-will has been dragged down by the beast in you and drowned in its own pool of meaning well. I couldn't bring myself to like you now, even if you played the convent girl, or give up loving you, no matter how wide you spread your legs to the whole world. There you go. 116B. Note, there is no 116B. I was all the birds of Callimachus, the crane at the jugular, the unknown predator, the vagrant shearwater, the flick-knife kingfisher, the birds of omen, every forsaken immortal nightingale, the stork with revenge in mind, the crow on the roof that croaks what the hell happens next, the eagle with a word from Zeus, Apollo's swan winging it, the monumental bronze cock, and after me, look out for your 3 ravens sat on a tree, a darkling thrush under the canopy. Don't keep your sparrow waiting in the mead hall. Maybe you'll find it all. Note. See you later, annotator. That's it. It's over now.